Good morning and welcome to the market forecast, everybody. It is Wednesday, June the 16th. As always, I'm John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Hopefully, you're up on what's going on. And have you done your homework this morning? If you're already in the markets, hopefully things are going your way. I think it's a pretty quiet morning here so far. We've got a lot of economic numbers due this morning. As always, we're going to be looking at these markets, hopefully through consistent and accurate context with the lens of risk management and patience. I think we're going to need a little bit of patience this morning. I'm wearing my hat today. It's only Wednesday. I usually only wear that on Fridays, but at some point today, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a helmet. So let's see how this thing plays out. 7:30 this morning Central Time, housing starts and permits came out, both of them lower than expected. Import and export prices came out both higher. I think we can probably expect that with the little bit of inflation that we've got coming into the economies. 9:30, we're looking for the EIA petroleum status report. 1 o'clock this afternoon, just at the same time I start the group coaching. The FOMC announcement is coming out. I'll start the group coaching a little bit late, probably about 1:05, and we'll try and keep an eye on what's going on in the markets as we pay attention at 1:30 Central Time when Chairman Powell begins his press conference. I've put in the link for the group coaching. Looking forward to seeing you all there. If you haven't come yet, come ask some questions. Nobody knows everything, and I certainly don't, but we have some really good conversations and some really good questions in that group coaching, so I'll look forward to seeing you there. As far as other news is concerned, all eyes on FOMC, the Biden-Putin conference, meeting, whatever you want to call it. Headline risks are going to be a higher probability for us today. Make sure you're using stops. We're going to have some liquidity drops here about 1 o'clock when the announcement is due out. A lot of folks will be just keeping their hands off. You'll see it in the dome. The usual number of bids and offers will probably be about half of what they typically would be at that time during the session. Always keep that in mind. There's going to be more slippage probably. There's going to be a little lack of liquidity. Volatility might pop in at any time, especially if there's some sort of headline news. So make sure you're protected. Use those stop markets. Inflation fears continue to build around the world. This morning, the Britain CPI and PPI were all higher. Okay, Canadian CPI also higher this morning. U.S. stocks are set to open mixed, as we probably should expect with the information due out today. Crude prices remain firm. The EIA is expecting a 3.3 million barrel draw to be announced at 9:30 this morning. And the API reported an 8.5 million barrel draw last night. So there's a little bit of a surprise in that. The API was looking for about the same as the EIA was looking for today. We have to keep an eye on that as well. Lots of information due out today. Yes, it's going to be another fun, challenging, and interesting day in trading. Make sure that you like, share, comment, question, feedback, and heckle at will. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we do go live. And just taking a look, VIX up a little bit, 1711, nothing tremendous as far as movement is concerned. Dollar index still hanging up there above 90 at 90.50. And the 10-year yield slipping below 1.5. It's about 1.48 right now. And I think we are going to be getting ready to go here. So I always got to say good morning. Good morning, Theo, Tone, Ednelson, James, Felipe, Caesar, Brian. Theo, you're first one in the room, by the way. You win the prize. Brian, Laura, Tanya. Good morning, Tanya. Amanda, Bill, Greg H., Nico, Sharon, my brother Rick. Good to see you as always. Love you. Richie B., good morning. Oh, hey, Lacey ate the camera. Lacey ate the camera. Hey, hang on a second here. And there we are. Don't eat the camera. All right. Richie B. Vici, good to see you. George Zerain, Mr. Shine. Keith, good morning. Murph, another great day of possible good markets here. Tanya saying good morning to Murph. Trading Research, Andre, Rob T. Jerry is awake, and hopefully John is too. Ryan Williams, Oleg, and Brad Generous, Jose, Colin, chiming in here. Good morning, everyone. I got a moose over here next to me. She's moosing me. She keeps wanting me to pet her. All right, we're gonna do that in a little bit, Lacey. Let me get through this. All right, let's take a look at the charts here as always. Starting with the daily in crude. Let me get things set up here, and here we go. Dr. VJ, good morning. All right, so here's crude, really wide view of it. Let's make it a little bigger so we can kind of see what the situation we are in. So we've obviously got a pretty decent rally going here. We are on about a, $11 rally with very little relief. It's rollover. We're going to be probably moving into the August contract either tomorrow or Friday. This market has been smashing barriers. It's kind of, it's on a growing demand trajectory here, and if there's an increase in production or a faltering of the assumed demand increase, that could bring a little bit of relief off this rally. This trend line, weekly kickoff high here, we broke out above it. We settled on it Monday, broke out above it yesterday. A little bit of volume, 31,000 additional contracts. Again, perhaps rollover. I'm watching to see if this market can hold this trend line. It was a pretty decent trend line. I mean, just a couple of real good touch points here. Not necessarily one that I'm going to be basing decisions off of. Let's take a look at the 30 and see what we see here. So here's yesterday's range. Here's weekly kickoff high. We broke out. Here's where we closed just below it, closed above it yesterday. When we're looking at this market here this morning, we don't really have any overnight inventory to work with. Settlement is right here, 72.12. We are looking at the market opening above range and closing the gap right away. It looks like the opening range is the high of the session here. So just taking basically price back into value from yesterday. Nothing too shocking about this, but if the opening range is the high of the session, it's going to kind of keep a short bias on me until proven wrong. Where does it prove wrong? If we take out the high of the opening range. So I don't want to fight this move to the downside here. Maybe if we get the opportunity to see some support levels from the past here, might be an opportunity for us. We had, I was kind of looking at this earlier this morning. It was kind of a waffling long inventory. They've waffled themselves right out of those longs, and now we're looking at getting a little bit short here. Remember, it is rollover, so it's going to be probably more short time frame control than other time frame or longer time frame participants here today. So gap rules, we closed the gap relatively early. We opened outside of out of range and value. If we reaccept inside of value, probability states that there's a good chance that we may go back to the low of value from yesterday. But again, 9:30, we're looking for the EIA release. I'm going to chill. I'm going to be patient. See if there's any good information that creates opportunity at 9:30 and respond if I see something good. Otherwise, I'm going to probably be chilling quite a bit this morning as we do have FOMC today. We all know the reasons why we are kind of on edge here this morning. We're just kind of waiting FOMC mood news from the Biden Putin meetup. The all-time high here back in the extended trading hours. Headline risks are high. Very narrow range so far in the extended trading hour. Inside yesterday's range. Last week's high showing some resistance in the overnight session here. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, here's last week's high. Looking above it for the last couple of sessions. Really finding it to be a difficult spot for us today. Settlement is right here, 42.3650. Put that on your charts. The overnight, basically last week's high, overnight high, overnight low, low of value from yesterday. I mean, this market is really just kind of biding its time. I mean, it's trading right at settlement right now. There's no overnight inventory. There's no reason to feel pushed into anything really early in this session today, knowing what we have coming out. There's going to be opportunities as the day goes on. I'm going to stay very patient and make sure that I'm still available and not all chopped up by the time the opportunities come for us today. Be very patient in the equities, please. And I'm always saying be patient, but good morning, Michael H. Good morning, Sergey. Good morning, Jose. Here's the NASDAQ. Same but different. Finally, we've got the NASDAQ holding at all-time highs. Lacey, you are just moosing me. I think you got to go out. We're going to get you out here in a second. All-time highs in holding. Once we broke out Monday above last week's high, it's been supportive. Again, we've got a very narrow overnight range inside yesterday's range, and this dog just won't leave me alone. Again, we all know what we're doing here, what we've got today. FOMC, Biden put in, inflation, COVID, openings. What can we do? Trade what you see and manage risk first. Always think about the risk before we see the opportunity. First thought is, where is the risk on this, and can I do this? Take a look at the 30-minute chart briefly here. Obviously, this market is just waiting for information. And until we get some information or something happens, I think it's going to remain range-bound and waiting for information. The entire night was inside value. Settlement was right here, 14.021.75. Is there any reason to feel really rushed to get into anything here this morning? I'm going with no. Be patient. Maybe there's an opportunity to respond to something that happens throughout the day. Better trade locations typically come as the day goes on when we open in range and in value. I missed gold. Hey, hang on. We got to talk about gold. All right. It's kind of holding weekly kickoff low as support. Tested it Monday. Deeply rejected. Tested below it yesterday. Rejected. It's basically our low of the extended trading hour session right now. But again, we're inside extended trading hour range. Inflation fears should support price. Now we've got some, other cryptocurrencies that are helping store value a little bit here. Gold is traditionally the best store of value. Low volume yesterday, lost 800 in open interest. Not a lot of things happening. A lot of interest in price at this level. I'm not expecting it to stay here for very long, but again, we got to be patient. Here's the 30-minute chart. Look what we did. We did really kind of nothing. Settlement is right here. 1856.40. Here's a weekly kickoff low, still supporting, but again, there's no overnight inventory, there's no gap, there's nothing really to rush into. I'm going to be patient, looking for better trade locations as the day goes on. I like that. Keep dog treats on your desk. Lacey is well, she was a rescue, but she's mostly, I think, German Shepherd, and they told us maybe a little lab. She's almost all black. She's got a little lacy white fur on her chest. That's kind of where her name came from. And let's take a look at the euro now. Waiting. Inside extended trading hours, waiting. Short time frame control is going to be where I'm going to be watching shorter time frame levels. I'm expecting them to be respected until they're not. Last week's low, the low for this week, really just not a lot of activity, not a lot of opportunity here. We lost 2,800 in open interest yesterday on lower volume. 30-minute chart. Okay, what do we have? We have inside range, kind of opening inside value, kind of driving lower. We've got perhaps an opportunity here. Our overnight low is in the neighborhood here. That's something we might look for as an opportunity. But again, inside the range from yesterday, I'm going to try and stay patient. Look for good trade locations as the day goes on. All right, so here's the 10-year. Yield continues to slip. It's holding below that 1.5 level. This morning coming in, as last time I checked, a 1.48%. Price really kind of holding now below weekly kickoff low. We broke out below it, was resistant yesterday, resistant today. But again, we've got another inside extended trading hour range. The market is waiting for information. I'm not gonna get too aggressive here in any of these markets early in the session here because, again, we know what we've got coming out. We can expect better trade locations as the day goes on because all of these markets are truly kind of range bound. We added 45,000 in open interest in the Treasury in the 10-year yesterday on this range. I do find that interesting. 30-minute chart. Again, so here we go. Here's yesterday's range. Here's resistant at weekly kickoff low. Settlements down here. 132.17. Do we have any real overnight inventory? If we do, it might be just a little bit long or just becoming a little bit long. But very narrow range yesterday, narrower range today. Again, I'm going to try and stay patient. There's no reason to get too aggressive today. Anything can and usually will happen. Be aware that volatility, if something goofy does happen, can spike at any time, and watch that liquidity because that liquidity can dry up instantly and make it very difficult for stops to get filled or for us to get in and out. Now, I'm not suggesting that I know anything is going to happen like that. But you got to be prepared for it. You got to be ready for it. Come here, over here. Come on. Here's Lacey. Oh, she's a big moose. She's 80 pounds, and she gets what she wants. Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Thanks, girl. All right. So, we've got a lot of time here before the equities open up. So just take your time, be patient. There's really not much that anybody can predict on any given trading day, really, but it's almost like today, there's just so much information due out and so many unknowns that I'm going to be again just being patient. It's going to be a challenging day. We know that. The one thing that I don't want for anybody is to get hurt today. Don't want any daily loss limits. Don't want any, if we're going to have losses, we want to keep them small if that's possible. And all of this talk and all of this worry about volatility and liquidity, and it may just be a big nothing burger. We don't know. So Yes, Joshua, extra patience. Yeah, thank you. She's a pretty girl. We really got lucky. The fact that she was a rescue. I mean, she's we had a trainer working with her for a little bit, and I think dog trainers do more training of the owners of the dogs than they do with the dogs. Who swears she's a Belgian Malinois? She has one. She's like it's. She's got the shape and everything, and a little shorter hair. So I don't know. We thought about doing the DNA thing on her, but I don't know. We love her. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Yes, Michael H. So patience will save you from a lot of mistakes. Absolutely. Yes, Greg. I do those weekly kickoff levels for all the markets here. Once FOMC is out, about how long does it take for things to settle down? 5 minutes, an hour? It's really, it may again be a nothing burger, Greg. It may, there may be some volatility. Watch, depending on the market that you're looking at. To me, the Nasdaq always looks like it's a little bit crazy. If you're watching the S&P or one of the other indices, you're going to see the liquidity dry up pretty quickly before the release comes out. You're going to see a lot of the bids and offers get canceled. The dome in the S&Ps is going to look like double digits instead of triple digits. In the Nasdaq, it'll be single digits. When it comes out, there's a drop in liquidity. It's going to jump around a little bit. It may not go anywhere, but it's certainly going to jump around. And then as soon as you start seeing bids and offers increasing on both sides of the market, then you can be pretty sure that the markets participants are coming back, and you're going to see some of that liquidity come back in. I don't know how long it's going to take. It could be 1 minute, it could be 5 minutes, it could be weeks. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. So usually, it's just something subjective that we have to decide for ourselves. Is when is it safe for us to get in? What kind of experience do we have in volatility? Maybe there won't be any volatility. We don't know. So on that note, I did put in the link for group coaching. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. We may see some fireworks going on before we get in there. Again, I'm going to start it at about 1:05, so you don't have to worry about missing any of the meeting. I've got I think one emailed in question that I'm going to address, and then the forum is open. So I'll look forward to seeing you there. We should see Dan for the market recap this afternoon, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. Wednesdays, one of my favorite days. Love the group coaching. Have a great day. Humble, grateful, and creative. Deep breath. Whew. Stay calm, stay patient, stay cool. Just don't get hurt. Get out there, profit if you can, trade well, make good trading decisions, watch the emotion and fear. It's not going to help you, and have a great trading day. Talk to you later.